fun talking about it.
This is the street.
Des? Oh yeah, Des. And then you're gonna get another sword.
What's he doing? What's he doing for me?
We have 3 boys and then our daughter's 4 boys. So we all live in the same.
You can already put your own team together. It's a two dads.
you'll when you're paid.
Those are big ones.
Compared to other seltzers, because other seltzers are like sugar. Yeah. So, yeah.
gelato and espresso.